the New Orleans Saints have re-signed Jameis Winston for a 2-year, $28 million deal. I want to see the details here. We've seen some examples in recent days, like Juju Smith-Schuster with his 1-year, $10.75 million deal with the Chiefs. It ended up being 1 year's $3.25 with more than twice that amount in upside that he has to earn. So let's see how much of it is incentives, how much of it is per-game roster bonuses. It's the guy who's coming off of a torn ACL. I heard yesterday that the Winston camp was kind of fishing around for $35 million a year. It's like, wait a minute. Well, for what? I mean, you got to come back and reestablish yourself. I'm surprised Mikey didn't insist on a 1-year deal to come back and get his feet under him, literally, show that he's healthy, have a big year with the Saints, and then try to hit the market next year. And the Saints smart enough to realize, hey, if you do that, we don't want you walking out the door.
Listen, I'm completely with you. I agree. And I think it was smart of Jameis to go back to New Orleans. You know, look at the direction that he was going there before he got hurt. 14 touchdowns and just 3 interceptions, and that had been his bugaboo, right? I mean, he had threw for a lot of touchdowns, but threw for a lot of interceptions. So the thought process under Sean Payton that wasn't going to happen, that he was going to help rectify the turnover situation, and he absolutely did. Absolutely did. Now, I know Sean Payton's not there anymore, but you have some continuity there. And I'm sorry, Taysom Hill ain't the answer. He ain't it. He's not going to be the quarterback of anybody's team consistently in the 17-game schedule. It's just not going to happen, in my opinion. So Jameis, if he can come back from the injury, come back and again, 14-3 in 7 games, that's trending in a pretty nice direction for you. Now, what you need more help on that offense. You're probably going to lose your left tackle at Armstead. I know he was visiting down in Miami. Alvin Kamara was, without question, your leading rusher and your leading receiver by 1. We don't have the Michael Thomas situation figured out there at all. So the weapons right now that Jameis has, really outside of Kamara, I know Callaway had a decent year for himself, had like 46 receptions and 6 touchdowns. But they need help there. So getting Jameis, I think, is a good thing. They haven't done a lot in free agency yet because they're in absolute cap hell right now. So I don't know how much they can really improve that team. But I think Jameis going back there and the team having Jameis back was a good thing.
It's going to be interesting to see how much post-Sean Payton the offense adjusts to suit Jameis Winston versus last year when it felt like Payton was trying to make Winston fit that offense, and he struggled with a lot of the underneath stuff. I got a renewed appreciation of how good Drew Brees was with the short routes, the timing routes, getting the ball in the right spot at the right time. Winston was all over the place at times, but Winston had the deep ball, which Brees at the end of his career clearly didn't. So I think maybe post-Sean Payton they start massaging things in the direction of letting Winston do his thing. But with Alvin Kamara, if Michael Thomas is back, he hasn't played hardly any in the last 2 years. Look, there is a vacuum. There is a void in the NFC. You've got the Buccaneers, who are going to be pretty damn good again. The Rams are going to be pretty good. The Packers, even without Devontae Adams, are going to be pretty good. After that, I don't know, the 49ers, if Trey Lance works out. If he doesn't, they're going to have a problem. Are they going to be good enough to be relevant and competitive if Lance isn't getting it done? The Cowboys, who the hell knows? The Eagles seem to be on the rise, but the Saints were still pretty good last year, even with all the quarterback injuries and that debacle they had on the Monday night when they had, 25 guys unavailable to play, and Sean Payton walks into the locker room. He sees a couple of guys getting dressed. He's like, who the hell are those guys? And he told Peter King that story. Like, who are these guys? Oh, they're on the team. I didn't even know who they were. So, they get that settled down, and the continuity of the coaching staff's important. Continuity with the quarterback situation's important. Jameis Winston starts. Taysom Hill does his thing. Alvin Kamara does his thing, and they can still be very competitive. They're 4-0 in the regular season against Tom Brady. And last year, Dennis Allen shut out Tom Brady when he was serving as the head coach for a night when Sean Payton was on the COVID protocol.
Listen, they can be relevant in the NFC now. Because you're right, it is very top heavy without question. So they can be relevant. I don't know if they're going to be able to accumulate enough talent because of the cap space that they have and the talent they have. And we still don't know again about Michael Thomas, what's going on with him. But you're right, in an NFC where they've had Tampa Bay in the regular season, which has been absolutely amazing, you never know what can happen. It's just about getting there. get into the dance at the end. That's all you're trying to do, and then anything can happen. And I think it's going to be easier to do that in the NFC than in the AFC. So let's see what they can start to. Okay, you have your quarterback now for the next couple of years. You're set there. Now, what can you do? And I don't know what they can do, but what can you do around that? Certainly, you have the draft. But, to sit there and hope a few guys come from the draft and have an incredible impact right away, that can be some wishful thinking for rookies. We've seen it some in the past, but that's tough to sit in there. We're going to bank on our rookie class to help carry us to the playoffs.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.